Hello everyone, this will be a more detailed video overview and explanation plus a little bit of analysis and personal thoughts about the Sith Warrior Annihilation discipline. I'm gonna try to compare it a little bit to the old one and we will thoroughly go through all the changes and all the descriptions of the skills that are present. For this I've decided not to bother with cutting out screenshots like mad from the developer stream, but I will be using instead the discipline calculator built by SWTOR miner specifically for Delphi. You can see it right over here. Well, yes, obviously I've minimized it to cut out all the other unnecessary for today's purposes links and portions of the website. But thank you SWTOR miner and Delphi for making this useful tool. It helps us a lot until we actually get to show the real things. Alright, so let's go through all of these. This is the preview window. It looks a little bit different in game, but it shows the same information. Here are the 4 unique abilities. They're not the most important one, but they're the unique abilities available for the Annihilation spec. Rupture, Deadly Saber, Annihilate, and Force Gash, which in the stream was renamed to Force Rend. There is still a little bit of time before the early access hits us, so who knows, maybe more skill renames will be available. Going into the path, first we'll take a look on the right side where we have the utilities. They are absolutely the same for all 3 discipline paths: Annihilation, Carnage, and Fury. Cloak of Carnage, passive ability, increases the damage dealt by Cloak of Pain by 15% and increases its duration by 4 seconds. Overwhelm, Ravage, immobilizes the target for the duration of the ability. Purely a PvP boost. Cloak of Rage, this is a rename of an old and familiar skill. While Cloak of Pain is active, it generates 1 rage whenever you are attacked. This effect cannot occur more than once every 3 seconds. The effect is different. Unyielding. You generate 4 rage when stunned, immobilized, put to sleep, or knocked around. Again, very purely PvP focused utility. Defensive forms. This is old. You build 2 Fury when attacked. This effect cannot occur more than once every 1.5 seconds, which is the global cooldown in the game, in case you didn't know. Additionally, the effect of your Lightsaber forms are improved while they are active. For the purposes of Annihilation, we have Juyo. Increases the internal and elemental damage reduction by 5%. For Carnage, a Tower form increases your movement speed by 15%. And for the right tree, Shicho form further increases the damage reduction by 2%. Path Carver, Sweeping Slash deals 25% more damage. Hell yeah. Stagger, increases the duration of Force Charge immobilize effect by 1 second. Why the hell they keep this? Nobody's using it. Or, well, correct me if someone of you is using it. I personally never use this for PvP and PvE. Interceptor, we're already in the 2nd tier. Now we know the rules. We have to spend 3 points in tier 1 skillful to unlock Masterful tier 2. Then we have to spend, as it's actually displayed here, we have to spend another 2 points in Masterful to unlock Heroic. We can spend all the 7 points available to us at level of 60 if we want here in tier 1. That's entirely up to us. Going through tier 2, Interceptor for passive ability. Force Charge, Force Rend, Devastating Blast, and to obliterate, snare the target, reducing its movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds. PvP boost. Cloak of Annihilation. Each use of Assault, Battering Assault, and Crippling Slash reduces the active cooldown of Cloak of Pain by 3 seconds. This is familiar again. Most of the utilities are familiar, slightly changed here and there with probably renamed titles and so on. Defensive Roll reduces damage taken from area effects by 30%. Again, we used to spend 2 points on this thing to unlock it in the Carnage tree. And now it's available to everyone, which is good thing. Subjugation reduces the cooldown of Obfuscate by 15 seconds and Disruption by 2 seconds. Again, that's now moved to the utilities which are available to all the specs. Strangulate, another passive. Did I mention all the utilities are passive? I've mentioned that in my previous video, but in case you haven't seen it, on the right side we don't get active new abilities and skills. Everything is passive and it boosts, alterates or changes some of our actual active abilities that we gain through the left path. Strangulate reduces the cooldown of Force Choke by 15 seconds. Again, that's another ability that used to be in the right rage tree. I cannot actually show it right over here. 2 points. Increases the range of Obfuscate by 6 meters and allows Cloak of Pain to be used while stunned. Displacement, a very nice PvP boost. Phantom increases the duration of Force Camouflage by 2 seconds and further increases the movement speed bonus of Force Camouflage by 20 seconds. Again, sounds familiar, yes? Here we go to tier 3 and Unbound. When Predation is applied or refreshed, it purges movement impairing effects. Additionally, the movement speed bonus of Predation is increased by 30%. Here is the similar old buff from the prior to 3.0 skills. Unbound. Force Camouflage has a 100% chance to purge movement impairing abilities. Additionally, increases the movement speed bonus by Predation by 30%. Everything is the same. Next one. Expunging Camouflage. Force Camouflage removes all cleansable effects when activated. Reminder, cleansable effects are not dots from players, those are uncleansable anymore, but almost all of the dots and bleeds and everything from NPCs are cleansable. Relentless increases the duration of Undying Rage by 2 seconds, another familiar ability. Inescapable. Crippling Slash consumes 2 less rage. In addition, using Crippling Slash against the target already slowed by your Crippling Slash, it mobilizes the target for 3 seconds. This immobilizing effect cannot be applied to the same target more than once every 10 seconds. This one is very important for PvP and only for PvP, I can only assume. And it applies a little bit of tactics and wise usement, so we benefit from the 2 hits of the same ability while still managing to not fill in the resolve bar of our opponent. Undying reduces the cooldown of Undying Rage by 30 seconds. Blood Ward. Getting attacked while Saber Ward is active heals you for 3% of your maximum health. This effect cannot occur more than once every 1.5 seconds. Brooding is the last utility point available to the Marauders. Reduces the cooldown of Intimidating Roar by 15 seconds. In addition, you build up to 30 Fury over the course of using Channel Hatred. This effect cannot occur more than once every 30 seconds. We remember this one from up way close to the top of Carnage. And it's the same with the same boosts. We just don't have to spend 2 points now. Going through Annihilation Discipline path, we get skills which are separated in passives, utility points, and active abilities through leveling. Those things are granted to us for free, but remember that we still have to visit our trainer to learn other passives that are not shown here. At level 10, which is as soon as we change to our advanced class, Marauder, we get Rupture. The numbers shown here are very relative, and as shown in the red tooltip, values are placeholders right now. Rupture has no duration anymore, and its dot spreads over 12 seconds, unlike what is shown here. The developer stream showed it to be 12 seconds, and it is only bound to Annihilate. While I did enjoy filling in Rupture right before Gore, or in other specific rotation moments in my Carnage build, it was never a significantly important ability, So I'm not really mourning over the loss and the movement of Rupture. The reason I'm saying this is because all the active abilities that are here, which are the green border ones, they are specific and only available to Annihilation. That means Rupture goes bye-bye for the other trees. Level 11 is an utility point. This is the icon marking the utility points. Level 12, Hammer Hygiene Smash. Wow, I really have troubles reading. Smash spreads your Rupture and Force Gash bleeds. Again, Force Gash is for Force Rend now. To target it hits. If it hits a target already affected by those bleeds. Important to note is spreading, just like with the other classes' passive abilities that they have shown in the previous developer streams. This spreads the dot, but it doesn't refresh its duration. So you have to be careful when exactly you use this. Deep Wound, level 16, increases the direct damage dealt by Rupture by 5%. Utility point, Close Quarters. Reduces the minimum range of force charge by 10 meters and its cooldown by 3 seconds. Alright, that's a combination, and it used to be this one. 2 points for twice 5 meters is 10 meters. Deadly Saber is the second active ability we get through the Annihilation path. It is absolutely the same compared to what it was before. It's very hard to judge whether its duration, whether its damage has been moved, because it depends on the active gear we have. One other funny thing about the gear is during the developer stream, the Marauder had 46k. Now combine the almost 5,000 HP boost for the 5 new levels, and consider the lower damage, that would produce a very fun 1v1 PvP fights. We won't be able to kill our opponents in 2 hits anymore. Juyo Mastery. Your bleed effects are 2% more likely to critically hit per stack of Juyo. Enraged Charge. Force Charge builds 1 additional rage. Not bad. We know this from over here. We spent 2 points to get the same effect. 50% for each point. Hungering. Critical hits with blade effects heal you for 1% of your maximum health. This is the same one as shown over here, and it has the same effect. Hemorrhage. Your blade effects have 20% chance to build 1 rage when dealing damage. This effect cannot occur more than once every 4 seconds. We see this same one showed over here. It has a little bit of a different effect now, because the old one used to increase the damage dealt by your blades effects by 7% per point spent. Annihilate is granted to us at level 41 now, instead of minimum level 45, because it used to be on the top, right over here. Description. Strikes the target with both lightsabers for weapon damage. Each use of this ability grants Annihilator for 30 seconds. This is expanded by 6 seconds, it used to be 24. Lowering the cooldown of your next Annihilate by 1.5 seconds. It stacks up to 3 times, just like before. Level 44, Bloodlust. Your direct damage attacks that critically hit a bleeding target build 1 rage. This effect cannot occur more than once every 4 seconds. In addition, Annihilate makes its target assailable for 45 seconds. Assailable targets take 7% more elemental and internal damage. It's a nice boost. This is a name even the developers had issues pronouncing. Very weird title. Indefatigable Onslaught. What the hell? Geoform can now stack up to 6 times, and Annihilate can now stack up to 4 times. Yes, this is the same skill as we already know from before. The name is still weird. Level 52. Your bleed effects, that's Pulverize. Your bleed effects have 20% chance to grant Pulverize, which increases the damage of your next dual saber throw by 100%. The effect can only happen once every 18 seconds. We used to know this skill, located right over here, but with different passives. They had to change it and boost something else, because it used to reset, it used to have a chance to reset the cooldown of Rupture and make it available prior to its normal cooldown. But since now Rupture doesn't have a cooldown and can be used as many times and as often as you wish, they've changed Pulverize to boost Saber Throw, which is not bad. Level 56 is Bloodguard. Dealing blade damage to a target increases your damage reduction by 5% for 3 seconds. Nice, this is constantly active. Our new skill called Force Rend is granted to us at level 57. Summons Dark Force power to gush the target, probably rend the target, the new description, causing it to bleed for internal damage over 18 seconds. Again, it costs 3 rage, has 10-meter range, but it doesn't have cooldown. So you may apply this dot to as many targets as you want. This helps Annihilation spec become a little bit more AoE friendly. Now, in a longer term, if you're, for example, fighting stronger mobs, like first one that comes to mind is Bestia Nightmare, where you have more than one monster or mob available most of the time, you can freely apply dots to more of them and boost your DPS overall. But when you have only one target, when the boss is alone, it will still be better to be Annihilation than Fury, or the old one Rage, because the old spec Rage used to benefit hugely from the spike damage from Smash, which is now removed. We'll get to that in the different video based on Fury spec. Continuing here with the last passive ability, it's very important and it's directly related to Annihilate and Force Rend. At level 59, Geoform and Annihilator build 2 stacks at a time. You know, that's twice faster. On top of the increased duration of Annihilator buff, Annihilator also builds up to 3 Swift Demise stacks, which reduce the cost of next Force Rend, I mean. This means we get this for free. Very important, that skill goes for free. We only have to play 2 levels, and then we'll get the 3rd new dot for the class for free. Overall, I'm kind of pleased with the changes. I was expecting more, but I'm happy with what we've got. The spec Annihilation is a little bit more complicated, and I really hope it will be more fun because of that fact. I haven't had a chance to try it yet. The only thing I had a chance to do is read the developer blog and watch the developer stream, as well as read everything related to the Marauder and Sentinel from the Reddit. The SWTOR subreddit is very rich with information and all kinds of different opinions. There is one thing I want to briefly mention here. There has been a change to Crippling Slash and Deadly Throw. Basically, Deadly Throw does not exist anymore, and its effect has been bound to Crippling Slash. We will talk a little bit more about this in details when we cover the Carnage changes in a separate video. That's it. I'm sure I've missed a lot of things. It's really not easy when you don't have direct access to show what you're talking about in front of me here on the screen from in-game with its real description, but I'm forced to use screenshots, websites, and custom tools to make it all useful. This is the developer blog, just in case you haven't read it. It's available, go and take a look. I cover all of it in my video overview, which is the very basic video, the first one I've created based on the Marauder changes. And that's it. I believe 20 or 20 something minutes is more than enough. Feel free to add everything that I've possibly missed. Correct me on the things I've pronounced wrong or analyzed wrong. And visit the other videos, as well as check out the full playlist I've created for all the 3.0 videos that will help us prepare for the new expansion. It includes discipline overview, combat changes overview, lore about Revan, information about 2 new planets, and whatever else I can come up with before the expansion or after it. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.